Hi, it's Susie at Pink Diamond Guide. How are you today? Stopping by again to do some more updates on this amazing energy that we're experiencing right now. What we wanted to talk about today, there's a lot of downheartedness in the community, and we get it. When you're in separation and you're not understanding the mission, you just can feel like just quitting. And we were talking about sometimes it feels like mission impossible, and Ricky said to me, "It's not mission impossible.
It's mission possible.
Mission possible." So we're going to go. Let's put a spin on it. That we're going to ask our spirit to give us a reading, asking the question, or not even asking the question, making the statement. It's mission possible, and see what spirit wants to give us for a reading. So we're going to read from I'm going to draw some cards for the Divine Feminine first up, and we really do read from the perspective of twins who are in separation and with little to no contact, because the twins come together in waves. And I know there's a lot of readers out here on YouTube predicting that unions are coming online, and they are. Absolutely they are, but unions come in waves, they do. And I know that there's the wave that is experiencing no contact and separation is really suffering right now. So we're here for you. We're out here reading for you to see what the energies are doing for that particular wave of twin flames who are suffering. And we want to tell you the statement for this reading is mission possible. That's having a mindset that you can do this, you can pull this off, and that these connections are in a phase of separation for a purpose. The pain is here to serve you, but we want to get you out of suffering and looking towards what your mission is, because these missions are achievable. We're in this together, Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. If you're watching too, this is not exclusively for the Divine Feminine. It's just the aspect with which we choose to read from. So I have a point of reference for Spirit to give me information. So here we go, Divine Feminine, straight up. Let's see what mission possible. Get the statement right, Suze. Mission possible cards we have for you, and then Ricky's going to draw some cards for Divine Masculine, and then we'll get some Divine Love Oracle for the connection and give you a reading.
Because
See, mission possible. I'm not even kidding.
because nothing is impossible.
Nothing is impossible if you believe in it. Oh, this is going to be a cracker already. Look, already this is a cracker. Yeah, look, mission possible. This is great, Divine Feminine. Let's get really, really hopeful here on what we're doing and where we're at. Yeah, look, this is going to be a cracker. I should be saying these cards as they come out, shouldn't I? I'm just already bringing through messages because this is going to be awesome. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, we've got the Six of Wands, we've got the Eight of Pentacles, we've got the Four of Cups, we've got the Eight of Swords, and we've got the Hermit. Under the deck, we've got the Seven of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, the Fool, Judgment, the Seven of Wands, and the Empress. Getting on mission. I'm not going to look too far down. I get into that trap. I will talk all day, I promise you. I'm excited about what's happening for these connections. Look at this. Empress, there you are, straight up. Look, let's have a look. Mission possible is my focus, and here I've got the Empress. That is you, Divine Feminine. You connected with the universe. Here she wears her crown of stars. So connected to the universe and the forces that are playing against you. So I even sort of attribute this energy to astrology. So I'm not an astrologer, but I do really lean on the astrological influences to guide my readings. And here the Empress is influenced by the universal forces. She's connected to the divine. She is connected to Mother Earth. She is rock solid. Look at all these strong foundations, these rocky formations behind her. She's on mission, the Empress. She's in touch with the divine, and she's in touch with the earth. She is the vessel, the conduit that brings through the story. Which way did I go? It was these two, wasn't it? Look at this. Tenacity. The Empress is on mission. Look, she's got her mission in her hand. Here's all the battles that she's fought behind her. This came through in yesterday's reading too, the Seven of Wands as a push from the universe. Here's the divine represented by the sun and these rays. Here's Divine Feminine on mission, being tenacious, being what's the word? She's got grit. What's that word? Resilient. She's resilient. She has tenacity. She's resilient. She's got grit. Why? Because she's a conduit for universal forces connected between the divine and the earth plane, and she has a job to do. Yesterday I described in a previous reading that you could imagine that this is the divine feminine holding a machete, and if she's moving through a jungle path where everything in front of her looks like it's just the path is clouded over and you can't walk in front, the divine feminine is the one who's swinging the machete and clearing the path for everyone else to follow. And look at this. The divine says, I find you in good favor. Judgment card came out again yesterday too. This is a repeating message that we're seeing in these readings. And here I see divine feminine nearly at the top of the ascension staircase. Got a little way to go, but close enough now to be standing face to face with the divine and asking some serious questions about what it is to be on this mission. Whether she's raging at the divine or having really in-depth conversations, receiving downloads. The divine is finding you in good favor right now, divine feminine, and saying, walk a little further with me, rise a little higher, understand your mission with me a little bit more, because this is mission possible. You are a twin flame. I've sent you out on this journey. I need you to be tenacious. I need you to be resilient. I need you to have grit, because you are my divine feminine. You go first. You carve the path. You show the way for others to come. And so far, divine feminine, I find you in good favor. You're doing great work. Keep climbing. Keep coming a little higher. I know you're frustrated. I know that you feel like you've had enough, and all you want is to settle into divine unions and feel the comfort of what that brings. And then when you know the push is climb a little higher, climb a little higher. Can I understand the frustration? Can I understand why that last little step feels like you've just marched mile after mile after mile, and the divine says march another mile, and it's going to require some tenacity and resilience to do it. This is definitely a repeating message as a push from the universe. And then the next layer up, we've got the Fool, the Two of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords. The Fool, look at this. Honestly, you've been said, walk another mile with me. Walk another mile, divine feminine. And here you are. You've been through this big purging process with the supermoon, letting go of things that don't serve you and getting very, very focused about being on mission. Excuse me. Mission possible. Here is the next chapter, divine feminine. The staircase. Look, it leads all the way up. And I know that if you slip, you fall off the side, either side. The pathway looks scary, and it's going to require that tenacity to get you through to make that ascension. And here, look, your eyes are covered. You can't see where you're going. You just have to continue to trust your feet. And every time you take another step, the divine will put another step out in front of you, another step, another step, another step. Keep listening. Keep looking for signs. Keep looking for synchronicities. This part of the journey, if you are moving with this wave of twin flames, is information. It's knowledge. And I know really all you want to do is be back in harmonious union and enjoying the fruits of an everyday relationship. Something that just feels like it doesn't have all of this extra weight on top of it, you know. Being the feminine who's walking with the divine, cutting a path for everybody else to walk, that's a lot of responsibility. And at times you just want to tap out, and the divine says, walk another mile with me. And I'm not going to show you what the steps are. I'm not going to like, it's blind faith. It is legit blind faith. The Fool can't see where he's going, but he trusts his feet. Why? He listens to the divine. He knows it's a calling, and the divine will lead him exactly where he needs to go. Same way he's going to lead you, divine feminine. Yeah, he's going to lead you, divine feminine. Your pathway is set out in front of you. Just keep trusting. The Fool comes here to say, take a leap of faith. Over here, are you still juggling? Yes. What are you juggling? You're juggling the call of the divine? Yes, to walk like the Fool. And here, and the Seven of Swords, you're juggling the path that you're on. So over here, see divine feminine? Here she is in the background. She's looking over at divine masculine, who has packed up all of the good stuff of this connection and taken off like a thief in the night, leaving divine feminine going, what the hell has happened, right? So you get this call, this juggle between the two. You get this call of the divine that says, keep rising, keep ascending, keep moving up that staircase. You've just got a little bit to go. But the juggle is going, why do I have to put my very earthly feelings about this connection on hold? Somebody said, why do I have to put it on the shelf? Why? I don't understand why something so amazing has to be packed up and put on a shelf for, why can't I just live in it? Why can't I enjoy it? So there is this juggling that might be still going on as you filter out. It's like a little window where it's energy that wags its tail a little bit as you move into the next phase of the journey. So it's like going that to and froing between getting very, very serious about mission possible, going, I can do this, I know what I've got to do to get on track, and then sinking back into what is the painful energy of the abandonment and feeling like you've been betrayed, or feeling like you've been left behind, or this connection has been deemed not worthy, and you're just left wondering what happened. So it is the last of that the next phase for you, divine feminine, really should just be focusing on being on mission possible, and that energy is being shaken down now. So you'll probably have those voices in your ear really giving you solid, clear information about how to move like the fool, and blind faith, knowing that the journey can be achieved, that you can have success, that there is a positive outcome at the end of all of the work you're doing. But right now it might be some days you feel like you're totally on track, right? Here you're totally on track, and then on the other juggle you're way off mission. So it's like shaking that down between you and the divine over the next little bit. But what the divine is really putting upon you is they're going to give you this 180. So it's like from moving to a space of where you're juggling, it will move into a space where you get very, very clearly on mission, and you'll know exactly what it is that you want to do. This leap of faith will clearly put you on mission. So, and it becomes mission possible when you get very, very focused about the journey and the soul work that you need to achieve. That's when these journeys change, when you're able to give this energy perspective. And I know it hurts. I'm so not immune to that. I see, and I know what it is to look at this and feel like you just, will I ever just be able to rise up out of this energy and get on to mission? It feels like an impossibility from where I'm standing, that this is going to lead to anything that is a journey with the divine. But they're saying to you, it is divine feminine. The wheel of fortune turns a 180, and you're going to start to feel different very, very soon. Keep doing the work. Keep making that last part of the ascension. Keep listening to the voice of the divine. Follow like the fool in blind faith, and the divine will turn this journey 180 for you, and you'll get a new perspective. Once you can gain this new perspective and feel this new push of energy, it by default will affect divine masculine. And I talk a lot about the process of when you pull away and you get very, very focused on your energy, that you create a void between you two. And that's the kicker, is when you get very, very focused on the void, because you're one particle, and I talk about this a lot, you're one particle split into two. And entanglement theory tells us that force applied upon this particle will affect this particle. The science split these particles apart, put them 13, now 20 miles. The new experiment put them 20 miles apart, right? And they're applying force over here, and this particle over here is reacting because they are entangled. In the void between them, they are entangled. So here's the divine over here applying force upon the divine feminine. She's risen up, she's ascended, she's nearly at the top of the staircase, and she's going, right, I'm ready for my 180. None of this is immune. The divine masculine is not immune to this journey. Apply a force here, and this force over here is going to get affected. The universe is saying, the divine is saying, I'm going to turn you 180. If you think for a second, divine feminine, that divine masculine is not going to feel your 180 on them at the deepest level, then you're sadly mistaken. Ricky, confirm it. Babe,
Yes.
when I 180'd you, did it affect you? Did it change things? Did it adjust things? Like when I started getting very focused on moving forward away from you, did it have an effect?
It made me want to focus more on doing more for myself and help myself and become one on journey. And it was made me realize I had to do work. So I had to turn around and figure out and look at all the cups that were standing upright and go that way.
Yeah.
Not with all the cups that were falling down.
Exactly. So it wasn't. I guess the point I really wanted to make and why I think it's so valuable to get Ricky's input is because, like, when I was sitting here having these 180s play out on me, I had no idea what was happening on the other side. I was walking like the fool, trusting the divine. Had no idea whether I was on mission impossible or mission possible. No freaking clue. But what I knew is that I had a calling. I had the divine in my ear saying, you've come this far, keep walking. Keep walking. And did this 180 happen? Yeah, it did. I remember so precisely what this felt like, to pull all my energy away and just go, and like people ask, did you not think about him? Did you not care? None of the above. I just went, righto, the way that we're interacting, it doesn't matter how great our connection is, the way we're interacting, we're never going to be able to hold it. I knew from everything that I'd learned through the journey that I had to lift. I had to change, I had to grow. And the only hope I had of ever feeling like I was going to be in alignment is to make these 180s and change my life. Did I know at that point whether this would be the outcome? No bloody idea. No bloody idea. Honestly, it was blind faith. Legit blind faith going, I'm going to do whatever the divine tells me to do because I've walked this far and I haven't come this far to not complete the journey. And at this point, when this 180 occurs for you, divine feminine, I guarantee you, and I can say I guarantee because I'm sitting here with him, right?
And I'm sitting here with you.
This happens. What you do affects them. It does. And science explains it with the split particle experiments. Go look it up. Go look how this quantum entanglement works. It explains a lot about how twins work. If we are one particle that at some point was split and put into two bodies, we remain entangled. If a force is applied upon one, it is felt by the other. This happens and this works. It is mission possible. How do I know this? You got the 6 of Wands. Victory. You go, divine feminine. Look at this. Victory. How are you showing up? You are making this happen. This 180 is happening because you are listening to the call of the divine. You are seeking out information. You are fighting for new ways to get yourself out of pain. Are we saying that you have to forget your twin? No, we're saying you have to know how to handle the connection. And sometimes that means that you have to put the connection up on the shelf and work only on your connection with the divine. Do other connections come along? Is your twin going to date other people? Are you going to date other people? Possibly. Maybe.
Definitely, possibly. If you're not together, if you're in separation, you're in separation. If you're working on yourself, people might come in your life. You might date them, you might not date them, but you're in separation and you're working on yourself, and you just keep working.
Exactly. So it becomes you and the divine, and whatever the divine brings along for you is meant to serve you. So it's like you're doing it, divine feminine. How do we know this? Because the wheel of fortune is here. The universe is turning it so that you get this feeling of victory. Righto, what have you got in your soul space? Can't even make this up. Mission possible. Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is about getting very, very serious about the path that you're choosing. So if there's a choice of eight sort of pentacles there, this individual has chosen this pentacle to focus on. And what I'm suggesting, Divine Feminine, is that you figured this out. There's your victory because you've chosen your pentacle to focus on. And what is it? It's you and your relationship with the divine. When you get serious about this in your soul space, guess what happens? The universe conspires with you to make the changes necessary to bring you what you want. So if you've put your harmonious union up on, and I'm quoting Abraham Hicks, they call it the high-flying disc, and I love that idea. So it's like a disc that's up in the universe that's got everything that you want on it, and you just set and forget, and you go, righto, I can't have harmonious union in this moment. I've still got work to do, but I'm not going to diss my harmonious union. I'm going to put it up on that high-flying disc, knowing it's mine and knowing the universe will conspire with me when I work with the universe to get me what it is that I want. It's already my connection. And whatever happens in between, just trust that the universe, and that's what the Fool is here all about, trust that you're going to take the right steps. If your high-flying disc is sitting up here somewhere and you've popped your harmonious union up there, you have to let go of how the universe is going to take you there and just follow the steps, follow the learning, follow the knowledge. That is mission possible. Unions are possible. Get on board this idea of choosing your path and making the path and the ascension your focus. That is the kicker to turning your journey 180, and it will affect both. I'm going to say that as a guarantee. And I know that you shouldn't say that. They send my disclaimer is the one thing I can't read on is free will. I can't read on free will. But what I do know to be true about twin flames, if you are a genuine twin flame, and if you're watching this reading and you haven't switched off under the weight of this information, then chances are good that you are a twin flame. So what happens to one happens to the other. It doesn't always look the same. So it's not that you experience the exact same event at the same time, or the lesson comes around at the same time, but you're mirrors for each other, and you are particles. If you're one split into two, and like the entanglement theory or the split particle experiment shows us, what force is applied to one is felt by the other. So this 180 will be felt on the other side. And I'm excited to see what cards Ricky's going to pull, because I think we're going to see some changes. Challenge is to believe and discern. Look, this is a bucket load of information that can seem a bit woo-woo when I'm talking about high-flying discs and split particles and entanglement theory and all of the what's the word, the language of this journey can seem a bit woo-woo, and then you can start to go, am I just like mad bat crazy for believing in it? The Four of Cups comes along to show us, look, here's your Two of Cups over there, and we know in tarot that Two of Cups is a soulmate representation, and here's all the pain and hurt. You've had a cup fall over, and over here is you want it to rebirth again. So you've had the breakdown, and here's where you want the rebirth. And the Four of Cups tells us, how do we get this new manifestation to come along? We're focusing on the divine. This person is not looking at the relationship. They are not looking where it failed, and they're not looking at how the universe is going to manifest the brand new start. They're sitting at the top of an ascension staircase, and even still at the top of this ascension staircase, they're still looking to the divine for more answers. Because until these unions come back around, the number one thing to focus on, and even when they come back together, the number one thing to focus on is the voice of the divine. And if you're feeling that that's a challenge for you right now, Divine Feminine, if it's at all a challenge, if this is what's challenging you, the Fool. Here's the ascension staircase in the Fool. Follow your feet. Trust blindly. The divine will lead you. And here, always keep your eye and discern the messages. When I say discern the messages, another word I like to use is edify them. And the way Ricky and I have a lot of fun with this game, it's like we'll get a download in spirit and we'll go, this is a thing. and we'll write down the words and go, I've had this word, I've had this image, I've had this thing play out, and I'll say to Ricky, I need you to witness. And then we'll play the game of going, Spirit, edify us, and we'll start looking for it in our world. And it's kind of like a bit of a treasure hunt, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like when we're out and about.
Doesn't matter where we are. If we'll see something and go, oh, look at that. Remember that?
Remember? That's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing. So it's like we look for that edification. So we might be getting the downloads up in here, and see, you might be getting downloads too, and you're not quite sure how to make the messages stick or how to make them a real world thing when Spirit talks to you. So if this is your challenge, of really trusting that the path is, if you're being led on the path, find your way to play this game with Spirit. For us, it's a bit of, we make it a lot of fun. It's like a treasure hunt. The information will be downloaded, and then we look for and we look for it 3 times out in the real world, something actual, physical, and manifest out in the real world that tells us that the information that we're receiving from Spirit is correct, and it's something we can trust and we can follow. So if you're having a challenge with that right now, maybe that's a little game you can play too. Bring the information through, write it down in a journal, and go, it's a thing. And you might not even know why it's a thing. But for us, the past couple of days, we've been chasing the sextant of a sailing ship. And we've been having different things come through connected to pathfinders and
migrational trips and travels and
and numbers too. Which has been, it's a lot of fun, and then we can get back together. And even one of the words we got was congratulations in this message, or it comes through as a number, and then the number meant congratulations. So, and we're looking for different ways to be congratulated.
Things,
So it's like, it might seem like it's trivial when Spirit brings it through. But write it down in a journal, and I've always had the practice of somebody to have it as a witness. So, because it's exciting when Spirit edifies your message. So, if you've got someone in your corner, even if you want to message us, we'll be your witness. Say we're tracking this in Spirit, and is it meaning anything to you, or are you seeing it? Can you edify me? We'd love to participate.
We're happily helping.
Happily.
Clues.
So if this is your challenge right now, is to trust that the messages that you're getting from Spirit are legit, or that you need to edify them, then have a go at the practice that we play. It's a bit of a treasure hunt. I'm going to call it a treasure hunt. It feels like one. The advice from Spirit. This is a tricky one, isn't it, when the 8 of Swords comes in as advice, because it is some thinking, really. It's like, it can be overthinking, it can be a mental prison, it can have you really trapped up in your head. And if this is a challenge to you, then you can see why Spirit's coming through and going, maybe you're not deciphering all the messages to a point where they're making sense. So it can have you stuck up in your head, wondering if what Spirit is saying to you is a true thing. You might be getting messages in your head that say you should go out more, you should have more fun, you should do this, you should do whatever the message is, and you go, well, that's not in alignment with holding harmonious union. And that can start to put you into a mental prison, or feeling like the things that you're doing on your journey are out of alignment with what the divine wants you to do. And look, a lot of these things that they ask you to do feel incredibly counterintuitive, and I'm the first one to put my hand up and go, that does not feel like it's in alignment with what Spirit wants me to do. But in hindsight, when you look back, you go, I understand exactly why that played out the way that it did. And what I always love about this 8 of Swords is that, like, the prison is not closing this person in. The gaps between the swords, and they're not even tightly bound. In other representations of the 8 of Swords, you can find that this character is really tightly bound. But for mine, it's like going, this could be released at any point, and you could slide through these overwhelming thoughts anytime you choose. The kicker is to take the thoughts that are keeping you in a prison and one by one process them. Now, your ego is going to rise up at any time that it feels like it's in fear, or any time that it feels like it needs to protect you. You are a $1 trillion piece of biotech, honestly, and this capacity or this functionality that you have called an ego is there to serve you. Now, in the spiritual community, you will hear relentlessly that you've got to kill off your ego. I beg to differ. I say you've got to make your ego your amigo. You've got to learn to understand how that facility rises up to put swords around you to stop you taking action that it perceives to be a threat. Now, in this twin flame journey, guess what? You've been through some kick-ass hurts, right? You've been let down, you've been betrayed, you've been abandoned, you've been hurt. And any time that your ego perceives that it's going to be under those levels of threat again, it will rise up a bar around you to take action to keep you safe. How do you overcome it? You become friends with your ego. As much as we're sitting here side by side or having this conversation, you can call your ego out into your reality and start to understand why it's putting up the bars around you that it is. It just wants to protect you. But if it can understand that you are okay to be counterintuitive at this point, because it is, you are following a path that is uncertain, and at the end of it you've got no guarantee of success, and pursuing this scenario in the past has led to a lot of pain and suffering, you can see why your ego goes, come on, get off this path. Why are you listening to the divine? Listen to me, I'll keep you safe. Follow me, follow the safe path. Let's not get hurt again. That is $1 trillion piece of biotech doing its job. And what your higher consciousness can do is rise up over the top of that very specific functionality and put it at peace. Call it out. Ego, I hear you. I see what you're trying to do, and I thank you very much. I'm so grateful that you want to keep me safe. This is what we're doing. I'm on a mission with the divine. There's actions that I need to take. And I know that your job is to keep me safe, but I've got this time. You can literally have that conversation as if you're sitting side by side with your ego like it was a real person. Or it's me talking to you. And I'm here, I'm your ego going, stop what you're doing. You can say, hi ego, give it a name. Hi Susie, I see you. I know what you're trying to do. I know you're trying to keep me safe. Whatever you've got to do, calling out that ego voice is how you escape this mental prison. And it is how you allow yourself to put the connection on the shelf. Somebody asked that question, how do you put it on the shelf? Is that you work with your ego and you work with the divine, wherever that card is. You work with your ego and you work with your divine to understand all of those functionalities. They're big concepts, I know. They're massive. But I swear to you, the 180 comes about when you can embrace these ideals. You can see it in Victory, Divine Feminine. I love that. And I've lost your card. No, I haven't. There it is. What is the likely outcome is the Hermit. And this is not surprising to me. The likely outcome is you and the divine on mission together. Mission possible. You got it. Mission possible. The Hermit is all about taking time for you for a very specific journey. It's about talking to the divine and ascending. Here, you might go into your cave a little bit, and it feels counterintuitive, right? Because you've been in this scenario where you're sitting and you're waiting for your twin to return, and it feels very counterintuitive to turn your back on them and not look in on what they're doing, not sit by your phone waiting for it to bing. Is there a message from them? It feels counterintuitive to put that connection up on that high-flying disc or up on the shelf, put it there so lovingly, knowing how valuable it is, but then to turn your back and walk away and focus only on the divine feels tough, right? And you're going to have that ego rise up and go, no, but this is the love that I want. This is the connection I want, right? And your ego's going to go, what are we doing? This feels like we're going to get hurt again. The Hermit says, let's take some time just for us. We're going to leave the light on, so the world can still see we're functioning. We're going to be connected to spirit. We're not going to disappear completely. We're still going to live our lives and function, but our soul is going to take a journey with the divine that is going to give us a very explicit outcome. So why do I see? I'm excited to see this reading because up here you're showing the world that you're taking charge of the journey and that you've got some level of success playing out with the divine behind you, supporting you, encouraging you, lighting the way. You're doing this 180, and your likely outcome is, see, because that is the 180. It's like you're not doing the stalking thing. You're working with the divine. You're not obsessing about the person. You're obsessing, or not obsessing, but you're focusing on the journey. They're very different energies. Righto. Let's have a look at what Divine Masculine's doing. That's a really beautiful read for Divine Feminine. I like it. What have you got? First one. Really? Don't tell me that this. Oh, you can't make this up. Honest. Remember we were saying in the first part of the reading that your 180 is going to have a big impact on the Divine Masculine. His first card out, the push from the universe, is the Death card. Quite literally. Change, transformation. There is, when the Death card comes out, it is quite literally a line in the sand. You know, you were this way yesterday, you are this way tomorrow, or here today, that way tomorrow. Like, it's that line in the sand, that change. The 180, the complete reverse, the complete opposite, the done with the old way of being, looking to make a change. That is exciting to see. What the force that has played upon you. Spirit is saying, here is where, look, if that's your two particles, you started off as one, the divine split you, here you are as two, the divine applied a force to you over here. Guess what's happened to Divine Masculine? Woohoo! You're both vibrating to feel the change. Do you experience it differently? Yes, but the frequency is felt, the push and the shake is felt. I love that. What have you got for me? Ace of Wands. See? Look, can't even make this up. Look what's coming in here. A fresh new view, fresh new passion, fresh new desire, fresh new creativity. Who hands it to the Divine Masculine? The divine. Look, coming in from this divine inspiration, a new way of seeing this connection. You're in victory, right? You're feeling like you've made the shift that you need to. What comes in for Divine Masculine? Death to the old way of being, cutting away what doesn't serve. Massive transformation. What comes in you? The Ace of Wands, a new way of being, feeling, thinking, new creativity. Oh, this is beautiful. We've got the soul space. Oh, the Strength card. Look. I like this for a couple of reasons, and I laugh out loud because the Strength card in the right of way, look, she's very feminine energy, right? Look how sweet and loving and divine and beautiful she is. And she's got the infinity over her head, very connected to the universe, the all and the everything. She's wrapped in these beautiful flowers and this long white gown. She's done her work and she's connected to the earth plane. And look what else she's done. She's tamed the beast. This is in the soul space, right? So this is the thing, is like, if you need the Strength card, it means that you need strength to overcome something. It means that there's been a fear or there's been an anxiety. It means that you've had to muster strength. Strength is an inner will thing. This is not, she's not laden with big muscles and she's, you know, been wrestling to overcome this beast. She hasn't. She's done it with will and the strength of the divine. But look at this lion. Oh my gosh, could it be any friendlier? This is a force that has tamed the beast, and this is happening in this soul space. Now look at you over here, Divine Feminine. You have got, in your soul space, you have got on mission. Mission possible. And how is that affecting the Divine Masculine? Mission possible. The Divine Feminine is taming the beast in the soul of the Divine Masculine. That's an awesome card to draw there, right? Show me what the challenge is. What have you got? The challenge, the Six of Wands. Really? Another repeating message. So, do you see how that plays out? This is you. Right? You're you turning your back and standing up in victory and being successful in the energy of the Six of Wands. And here, he's at the 1, he's at the starting line. So you're at the 6, he's at the 1. This is victory, and this is, I'm getting inspiration for the divine. Here you are, you're going, my big challenge now is having the divine talk to me, just the divine, and show me what my path is, and for it to show up in the world. Divine Masculine goes, How are you doing that? How are you succeeding? How are you managing to put all this behind you, and maybe you're even having a glow up. I don't know. Maybe the way that you're presenting in the world is that your strength is showing and your confidence is showing. You're starting to push this energy, this real challenge, the heartbreak and the pain. Maybe you're starting to know what to do with pain versus suffering, and it's being seen, or at least it's being felt, because like I said, two particles, one will feel the other. And here Divine Masculine goes, I don't know what to do with that. Divine Feminine, she used to always chase me. She was always crying and begging me to come back. She always wanted to see like how amazing our connection was. And now she's going, bugger off.
Yeah.
Bugger off. I've got work to do. You go sort you out, boo. And I'll
You do you, boo.
You do you, boo. And I'm going to take my moment to feel victorious. And Divine Masculine, I don't want to sound cocky or like I'm laughing, but I'm just excited that I'm seeing this, because this is what it takes to turn it around. Divine Masculine has to really question where he's been and what he's doing and why it feels like these energies are pulling against them. So if it's coming through that a challenge that he's seeing you victorious, I do have a little bit of a celebratory grin and a laugh that this is mission possible. This is what we want to see. What have you got as advice from Spirit? Hit me with it. Oh, the King of Cups. The King of Cups. Look. Yeah, look. This is coming into connection with his emotions. See how the King of Cups, look at all this divinity swimming around. He literally sits in a sea of divinity. And look, if you look here, I keep talking about he's got to put his toe in. Look how close he is to put his toe in the water. If you look back on our previous readings, what we've been waiting to see is that the Divine Masculine really makes that connection with the divine. And the King of Cups, look, that's really jumping out of me. He's so close to putting that toe in the water and really listening to the message. If you look at all of this divine energy all around him, he's so close to dipping his toe in the water and really listening to what the divine's got to say. Here, the King of Cups drinks from truth. He has pure love, pure intention. He is noble and caring and loving. He is all of the above. And there's a level of ascension about the King of Cups. But what's really striking me is the advice from Spirit is he's so close to dipping his toe in that water that this change is really starting to affect him. Look, I was like this yesterday. I'm like this today. This is what I'm moving into, and I really want to dip my toe in the water of what Spirit has got to show me. What have you got? Likely outcome. Oh, likely outcome. Knight of Cups. Wanting to make an offer. The Knight of Cups really does, he's Mr. Valentine's Day. He's in love with love, and he really does want to make offers and connections. To have this as a likely outcome is exciting to me. So Spirit is advising that once the Divine Masculine gets on board with what it is to work with the divine, see, the likely outcome here is still not in the water. Like the Knight of Cups has still got the river traveling sort of separately. That's still sort of jumping out at me, that the offer isn't like an immediate one, but it's brewing that he wants to make an offer with this pure love. And like the Knight of Cups, his horse moves forward, right? See this? He moves forward. He makes a forward progression. So he does want to make an offer forward, and as a likely outcome, the work that is taking place. And we ask the question, is this mission possible? Yes. Yes. The Divine Masculine is looking to dip his toe in the water, understand the divine, make an offer to his Divine Feminine that will eventually bring about mission possible. What have we got under the deck? We've got, yep. Okay. So the push from the universe, again, we've got this juggling energy. Do we have that under the deck over here? I feel like we did, yeah. And another repeating message that you're both still figuring out what it is to juggle the divine. We've had this before in a couple of readings. Yeah,
we definitely had double readings last night.
Repeating messages, and it's like the energies are the same on both sides,
Yep.
which is I know we've had this scenario play out before, because I remember mentioning that, and this one coming out for the Divine Feminine, you get my version. This is the tarot cards that I've created, and this is the traditional Rider-Waite. So Divine Feminine, I use my cards for yours, and in here this character is looking at the higher pentacle, so it's like a more ascended pentacle, whereas the Divine Masculine is still looking at this lower pentacle. And if you're juggling between, do I want to sit in pain or do I want to continue to pursue that's your question, right? Divine Feminine. Am I still am I going to continue on this journey to learn more, or do I want to stay suffering in the connection? And Divine Masculine is quite literally, here's the divine traveling behind him. His feet are not in the water. He's got the same juggle, but he's still focusing on the lower one, whereas you're looking at the higher one. So talk about a couple of mirrors, right? Juggling the divine and the 3D realms and masculines and feminines and everything that twins have got to juggle. But at the moment, we still have that imbalance where you're looking high, he's looking low, and the divine is still traveling away or sort of behind him there. What else do we have? The push is, yeah, look, feeling the pain. The universe is trying to, get them. Here's the divine traveling behind again. Here's that divine message and that divine inspiration that trying to bring through to the Divine Masculine, but he's feeling the swords in his back now, and we're at the 10, so we're getting close to a completion of understanding that he might have the divine in one ear and the devil in the other, so he's still playing out this game of what do I actually follow. But I'm feeling like incredibly, like I'm suffering, like I've got, how much pain is this guy in? He's on the ground here with all the swords in his back. He's suffering, and the universe wants him to understand what that pain is all about. Over here, though, he's not in the water. He's sitting outside of the relief that the divine can offer when you're feeling the weight of this journey. And then over here, and because of that, he's starting to understand that he does have some work to do. And I kind of like the Page of Cups when it comes up in a twin flame reading is, it's kind of like we talk about sort of having something cooking in the oven and it's not being quite cooked yet. So you don't want to bring that meal out of the oven until it's really ready. And the offer that might be made if a Divine Masculine came forward now. So this is those of you who might receive a small amount of communication or might receive an offer from your Divine Masculine. It might feel like a bit of a fish in a cup. Like in that cup there is not this cup here, right? It's not as developed as this cup here, but look, we've got the progression happening. So, if the push from the universe right now from under the deck has got him in the Page of Cups, and again, see the divine travels behind the page there, his feet are in the water, he's not even focused on it, he's just looking at his fish in a cup thinking that's a smashing offer to make his divine feminine. But I'm telling you, to get a fish in a cup, I would not be ready to receive that. And look, we're the first to say that when we first come back together, we were probably offering each other a fish in a cup. A goldfish even. It wasn't that union came back around and we both stood up in it and went, well, oh, that's what it was all about. We offered each other this fish in a cup initially, going, we want to be connected, but how do we figure out how to hold it? And then this is the progression. Then we learned how to offer the knight in the cup. And we went, righto, that's a little bit better, where, it's a little bit more genuine. And I know that if I drink from this cup, I'm not going to drink something poisonous and toxic. And then we moved to the King of Cups, where, look, and this is like with dipping a toe in the water. It's like, let's work not just with each other, let's work with the divine to understand what this is all about. And then if you've got, King of Cups and Empress working together, and even Emperor and Empress, I feel like we're sort of making those progressions as well as we continue to work together to figure it all out. We don't claim to know it all, we're just sharing what we know so far. And we definitely felt those progressions. So when we say to you that if your Divine Masculine comes and offers a fish in a cup, it's okay to say, no, that's not what I'm after. It's okay to say that meal's not ready yet. Can you cook in the oven a little bit longer? Get back in the oven. You're not cooked. You're not fully baked. So, and then have these progressions take place. We are definitely aware that, you know, that it's a sequence of events, and that if you keep working your connection with the divine, you know, keep encouraging that is the basis of what holds you together, because romance won't hold these things together. What am I saying, like flowers and chocolates and that kind of
stuff.
Yeah, the worldly stuff won't hold these connections together. Tokens, that's the word I was looking for. Tokens of affection don't hold this together. It really does take coming together and allowing the divine to lead your steps. That turns this from mission impossible to mission possible. Rhino, who would you like to draw an oracle card for today, the feminine or the masculine?
I'll go. Who? I don't know. Who are you feeling? I did masculine last night.
I think you should draw one for the feminine.
I shall.
There you go. You draw one first. So we'll get Ricky to draw one there for the divine. Did I have more? Oh, there you go. While you shuffle, I'll read these. See? It takes a village. You've got to work together. Oh, I like this though. Oh, look, did we get the King and the Queen of Cups out? Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's a nice pair, isn't it? See this? See this? This is this beautiful pair. And what I want to look, see, like her toe is so close to the water there too, look. But see how her foot is like, it's almost like her gown is connected to the water. Like this queen is feeling that divine energy. And the Queen of Cups to me is the most love that there is available to give in the deck. You know, the King of Cups is her counterpart, absolutely, and they're both very, very balanced in what they have to offer. But when the Queen of Cups comes through from underneath the deck, it's a divine push connected to self-love. So when she comes through, and what else did she come through with these? Oh, I love this. Yeah. I'm so glad you showed me these because, see, you got to work together. The Three of Pentacles, when I'm reading for twin flames, I love it when this comes through because I always see this as the divine, the masculine and the feminine together, and presenting to this idea of going mission possible. So glad this came out and that you showed it to me, because this really is, the feminine had over here the other card that I would call mission possible, choosing your path and getting really, really dedicated and focused on it. And then that's coming up in your soul space, so you're there. And here, the Three of Pentacles is that more 3D push, but it's coming from underneath the deck. So it's like the universe is really pushing the masculine to understand that there's more to this connection than just the romance and the bubble love that you may or may not have been through. But the whole kicker for twin flames is getting on mission. Choosing that job and working on it. Mission possible. Hell yeah. This, the Three of Wands, again, it's choosing a path and being hyper dedicated to it. There's your horizon beyond there. And I like that this come out because we keep getting this travel and path seeker, and this card really does kind of lend itself to it in going, finding your path and getting really, really committed to it. Those two cards. Yeah, Pathfinder. Right? Three of Wands is also your ships coming in. So it's like if you get really serious about choosing mission and getting on board with mission, divine masculine, then this is the information will come to you. Your ships will come in. You'll know exactly what it's all about. And then the Queen of Cups in with that scenario, the most love that you can feel in tarot. She's beautiful, the Queen of Cups. She is a different energy to the Empress. This is about, you know, this is mastery on some level that you've achieved after the Eight of Pentacles, but the Queen of Cups is about understanding universal love. It's about understanding self-love, and that is, self-love is understanding what self is, and that is you are one and all with the divine. You are never disconnected, and because you are there, your twin is there. This card really helps you understand. If you dive into the work, your ships will come in on understanding how beautiful this Queen of Cups love is. And that's gorgeous as a message for the divine masculine. You've chosen this for the divine feminine?
Yes, ma'am.
You chose the divine feminine for the divine feminine. Wow, yeah, this is beautiful. So to me, this comes out to affirm to you that you are on your journey, and that the decisions that you're making right now, look, this is balancing those female and male energies in coming into alignment with these ideas of divine, and these are all in her lower chakras, so they're connected to her their self-confidence and creativity, and those beautiful feminine energies that come from that sacral chakra in understanding who you are and what you're doing. I kind of dig that this come out for you right now, because it says that you're truly rising up in it, and that you're understanding the journey more than you ever have, which is really why what this Eight of Pentacles comes out around as well. In your soul space, you know who you are and you know what you've got to do. And though at times what you have to do feels incredibly counterintuitive to the connection that you're holding with your twin flame, you know what you've got to do. And you know that putting it in its perspective, putting it in its place, is actually the best course of action that you can take right now. Let them have your journey, their journey, and you have yours. Get very, very focused on what it is to be a divine feminine on a twin flame soul ascension journey. Take that away, divorce it, fully divorce it from what he did. Okay? What he did goes out the window. Who he is in his 3D, put it into perspective. Yes, you will have your conversations about that. You will. You will.
You definitely will.
You will. But it's not the make and break of these things. Okay? It is the stuff that frustrates you and it keeps you out of alignment, but it's not the make or break. This is the make or break. Understand your journey, divine feminine. All right, I'll choose one for divine masculine. Let's have a look. There's so many of them. It's a big deck, but worthy. Oh, look. Do you want to choose one for the connection? God's Warriors. I'm not kidding. Look, you've come through as divine feminine there. There you are, standing up as a warrior for the divine. And if you're leading the way, that's for that, righto. If you're leading the way for it's not just for your connection. You're leading the way for everybody. The next 10 years is going to be an uprising in spirituality and understanding that has never been seen before. And twin flames, you are the ones at the front of the path. If there's a bunch of jungle out in front of you, you are the ones carving the way. And guess what? Divine feminine, you are the one with the machete. You're saying, I'm going to cut all this grass and jungle and vines in front of us, and I'm going to come into clarity and understanding. And guess what, divine masculine? You're starting to rise in it too. You're going to understand what it is to be in that space with your divine feminine and get on mission. Is this mission possible? Are you kidding? Could it be any more mission possible? God's Warriors. This divine feminine energy went first. It did. But the divine masculine rises with her. What happens to one happens to the other, even if it takes a minute. Is it on? Yes, it's on. What have we got for the two? This one. That's right. This is for the connection. And this is huge. This is huge. If this heart space is opening, what do we have? Where is she? There she is. Look. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. The connection, the heart energy between the two is opening on the back of the work that you're doing, divine feminine. Is divine masculine doing work too? Yes, he is. Does he understand it? Probably not. Probably not. He probably doesn't understand what's happening to him quite yet. But is this heart space opening? Absolutely it is. To have the Queen of Cups be that push from underneath the deck for the divine masculine, that is now the joint energy of the connection. The heart space is opening. Divine love is pouring down on these two, which will then lead to understandings and leads to this, right? Once the journey is understood, once the heart openings are understood, then you get to enjoy this stuff, which is the fun stuff. So you can hold that now, divine feminine, go, righto, in the process of the work that I'm in the Eight of Pentacles. This is the process of the work that I'm in. So far, I've got to the point. I'm eye to eye with the divine, and he says, he, she, however you represent that energy, says, climb a little higher, climb a little higher, climb a little higher. You've already impacted your divine masculine and he's having these death energies. You can call it death to the ego, but I don't call it that. You can. It's death to the fight, to the journey. It is. It's the waking up. It's the moment where it goes, something's happening, and I need to listen to the call, right? So the energy of the connection begins to open. The ascension ladder begins in earnest for both. Though you might be at this point, but he is on the ascension ladder too. What is the outcome? The fluffy stuff, right? Once you get past the work and the hard yards and the focus and understanding, you get to the fluffy stuff, which is a really, you don't get the fluffy stuff till you get past the hard stuff, and that is a tough reality for twin flames. It is. The pain, the separation, the runner, the chaser, the ascensions, the dark nights.
Keeping the connection is the hardest, and that's where all the fluffy stuff is. If you can maintain that connection and keep it,
that's where all the fluffy stuff lives.
Yeah. So fluffy.
So fluffy. It's lovely. So I know that you want to get to this bit quickly. I did too. You did too. We all did. But this is what came first, okay? Understanding the journey and understanding why you've been put on a twin flame soul ascension. If you can continue pushing down the path that you're on, keep talking to the divine, keep talking to, keep ascending, keep learning and growing, you are affecting your divine masculine, and this is the beautiful outcome. Offers of love, genuine, pure, fluffy stuff, the stuff we all love. Okay, I think we've got to the end of that reading. If you like the way we deliver information, we'd love you to like, share, and subscribe, because we'd really like to help as many twins as we possibly can. We know this journey has pain, but we don't want you sitting in suffering. If you'd like to reach out to us, we love talking. We've been connecting with our community. You can reach us on Facebook. We're Pink Diamond Guide on Facebook, and direct message us. We love interacting that way. Message us here on YouTube, and we can connect with you there. Short of that,
Instagram.
Oh, Instagram, yeah.
We're on Instagram.
We do Instagram too. You can reach us there. Yeah. I think that's the end of our reading. So, like, share, subscribe. If you like what we're doing and you want to hear more from us, we hope to hear from you again. We'd love to if you've listened this far, we'd love to connect with you again. So till we talk to you next time, take care of you in faith, hope, and love. From us, it's bye for now.